All right, if you're a cybersecurity pro who's ready to level up, I mean really level up beyond the standard tools and techniques, then you are in exactly the right place. Today we're diving deep into the GIAC GXPN, a certification that basically tells the world you've reached the absolute peak of offensive security. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about what makes the GXPN so respected, its reputation as the black belt of pen testing. Then, we'll help you figure out if it's the right challenge for you. We'll crack open the exam itself, map out a realistic path to get you there, and, most importantly, talk about how to study smarter. Let's get into it.
So, let's kick things off. What exactly is the GXPN? I mean, in a field that's crowded with certifications, why does this one carry so much weight? It really all comes down to what it represents.
You hear this phrase a lot, and honestly, it's the perfect way to describe it. Think about it. A black belt isn't just about knowing a few moves. It's about a deep, fundamental mastery, years of discipline, and the ability to innovate on the fly. That is precisely the kind of respect the GXPN holds in our industry.
So, the official title is a mouthful. GIAC, Exploit Researcher and Advanced Penetration Tester. And that name tells you everything. This isn't just about finding known vulnerabilities. No, this is about understanding how software works at the memory level, writing your own custom code to exploit its flaws, and getting past all the modern defenses designed to stop you.
I absolutely love this analogy because it just clicks. A lot of you are probably familiar with the OSCP, right? It's a fantastic, super challenging certification that proves you can break into the building. But the GXPN? That proves you understand the building security system so intimately that you can actually rewire the locks themselves. It's a whole different ball game.
Okay, so the big question is this cert actually for you? This is a serious commitment, so let's get real about who this is for and, of course, what kind of rewards you can expect for that hard work.
Look, this certification is definitely for the seasoned pros. We're talking experienced pen testers, folks already working in exploit development, and top-tier red team operators. But let's be honest, it's also for that very specific type of person who genuinely gets a thrill from staring at a disassembler at 2 in the morning, hunting for that one critical flaw. If that sounds like you, then yeah, you're going to fit right in. And that hard work, it definitely pays off. The numbers don't lie. We're looking at an average salary of nearly $120,000 for someone holding a GXOPN in the US. That's a direct reflection of just how valuable and rare these skills are.
And remember, that's just the average. If you're a senior researcher, especially in a major tech hub, you could be looking at earning potential well north of $158,000. It's a massive return on the time and effort you invest.
But here's what really drives that value home: scarcity. There are only about 2,600 people in the entire world who hold this certification. When you earn the GXPN, you're joining a very, very exclusive club. And in the job market, that kind of rarity means high demand.
All right, so you're hooked. You see the value. But what are you actually up against when you sit down for the exam? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the beast itself.
The scope here is just massive. You've got to master core memory concepts, stack, heap, all of it. You need to be able to pull apart network protocols and exploit them. You have to know how to use fuzzing to discover brand new zero-day vulnerabilities. And then you have to be able to write the actual exploits for both Windows and Linux systems. It's intense. Now, this is super important. The exam isn't just about what you know. It's about what you can do. Sure, there are 60 multiple-choice questions, but the real test, the heart of the exam, is the 7 hands-on Cyber Live labs. That's where theory goes out the window. And when we say hands-on, we are not kidding. Cyber Live Labs puts you in a live virtual machine. You get a real, vulnerable program, and you have to debug it, write your exploit code from scratch, and successfully pull off the attack, all with a clock ticking down. It is pure, practical, applied skill under pressure. So, how do you even get to a point where you can tackle this? Well, very few people just wake up one day and decide to take the GXPN. There's a pretty common path that builds the kind of deep, foundational knowledge you're going to need.
Let's put this into perspective. You've got the G-Pen, which is fantastic for building a solid, broad foundation in pen testing methodology. Then there's the famous OSCP, which is all about proving your hands-on hacking grit in that grueling 24-hour lab. The GXPN then takes that practical skill and elevates it, focusing like a laser on deep exploit development and bypassing modern security controls.
So if you map it out, a very common career ladder looks something like this. You start with GPAN to get the methodology down. You move to OSCP to prove you can hack no holds barred. And then you aim for GXPN to become a true master of the craft, an exploit developer.
Okay, we've established the GXPN is a beast. It's incredibly valuable, and it requires a seriously deep skill set. So the question becomes, what's the smartest way to prepare for a challenge this big without just burning yourself out?
And seriously, how do you do it? When you're wrestling with concepts like assembly language, kernel-level debugging, and complex exploit chains, just reading a book or watching videos isn't going to cut it. You need a structured, efficient, and honestly, a more modern way to prepare.
And this is where using the right tools can be a total game changer. One really interesting example is a platform called FlashGenius. Its whole approach is using AI to guide your prep, pulling you away from that scattered, I hope I'm studying the right thing feeling.
Just look at the difference here. A lot of study tools give you practice questions, and that's it. But an AI-driven approach is different. It's building a personalized learning path for you, using smart review to drill you on your weak spots, and even leveraging a database of common mistakes from other test takers so you can learn from them.
But what does that actually mean for your GXPN prep? Well, it means you get a guided path through the toughest topics, like exploit development. It means you can do focused practice drills on things like Stack Overflows, and you can use features like Smart Review to really hammer down the hard stuff, like assembly and writing perfect shellcode. It's prep that's tailored to the exam's biggest challenges.
So, as we wrap this up, let's just boil it all down to the single most important idea. Why should you put in all this blood, sweat, and tears to earn the GXP? What's the ultimate takeaway?
And this, right here, is it. This is the whole story. The OSCP proves you can follow the path to compromise the system. The GXPN proves you have the skills to create entirely new paths that no one has ever seen before. It's the difference between being a user of exploits and being an inventor of them. And if that's the leap you're ready to make, then the GXPN is your goal. And using a smart, modern approach to study is the absolute best way to get there.